Hello everyone, Bhaiya will be joining us shortly. Please wait a few minutes.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Hello,
Hello Bhaiya, yeah, you're audible. Since quite a few of them have joined, I think we can start the session right now.
Okay. Also, I'll encourage people to turn on cameras. It'll better for us to interact. And take it as an informal session, right? It's like I'm just meeting my juniors. It's not like we have to go in order or do things in a specific way. It's not like that. It's just an informal session. I want to guide you and to take your doubts. That's it. So I'll encourage all of you if you can turn on cameras. Yeah, it's fine. Feel free to. It's not a force. I do used to live in hostels, right? I know the condition of our hostels, the state in which we live in hostels. I know all of that. So yeah, that's fine. Should we wait, Samajit, or should we start?
Hey, you can start. Majorly, people, those who are joining may made a start of the session, but mostly people have quite a bit of few people have already joined.
Okay. Yeah,
Still joining, of course.
Yeah. Maybe you can record the video if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. We have made arrangements for the recording.
Yeah. So did you start recording? If yes, then I can start.
Yeah, Bhaiya, we just started the recording. You can start
Okay.
the session.
Also, I first want to know that what is the distribution of years like. So let me try sending a poll, and you all to answer that poll. I'm not sure I have permission or not. I'm trying to install this. Okay. It's done, I think. Okay, I am able to. So, which year you are? Oh, I don't see option to add options. What is this? Okay, this is bad. Like people need to install this extension, which is bad. Okay, let's do this way, right? Like I can just ask, and people can raise hands, maybe. So, how many of you are in fourth year? Can you raise hands? People who are in fourth year. Okay. I see around how many people? Yeah, only three people are from fourth year, right?
There should be more than three. Quite a few people joined, I remember.
Okay. People who are in third year. Okay, now fourth year can go down, and then third year. Okay, I see quite a lot. So around 34 of us. Okay, cool. I think third year could put your hands down, and I can check for second year maybe. People who are in second year, can you all join? Can you raise hands? Okay, so quite a few are from second year as well. Cool. I'll skip first year. Maybe they are here, but I'll skip. Like I'll say, click enjoy your college first. Okay, cool. Great. I think we can start. So people can raise, put your hands down. In the whole session, like if anybody have any question, right, you can put into chats. Maybe I'll take it up. I also have, like, I also ask for Q&As thing, right? If you have doubts, please do ask. And I think we can start with, if you want to share anything, how's life going, right? Like, is college fun? Are you all having fun? I'm just letting you know that, like, I've been there. Like, so I'm just telling you that this is the best time you all are having. Like, things are not going to be that fun after college. So make sure you like have fun as well, irrespective of like all this preparation, this stress and all. Okay, cool. I think we can start. I have a very bad slide which I just made in 10 minutes. So like, please ignore my bad slide skills. I'll share that. Let me know if you can see it. Can you all see it?
Yeah, bye.
Okay. Cool. So I'll turn it to slideshow. Oh, I think I need two monitors and I'm at not my place. Okay. I'm just thinking how to change slides. Wait, let me decouple it from you. Oh, can anyone else share slide? Other than me, let me ping it to. Like, okay. Copy link. Okay, we'll click on share. Let me give viewer access. Let me quickly do it. Samajit, can you share slide?
Sure. Let me just.
Because I want to stay on Meet, so you can share slide. I will keep telling you to switch it.
Okay. Let me just do that.
Amir, do you have any question? I see your raise hand.
Is it visible?
Yeah. You can go to slideshow mode.
Yep. Please do that.
Okay. Yeah, we can start. We can start with the next slide. Okay, so like I think you all are worried a lot about maybe there's some noise coming up. Samajit, you can go on mute. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was saying that like what I hear is a lot of you are worried about market situation and all of that, right? So like it's truth, right? That yeah, market is not that good. It's not that green as it was before COVID. But I think you should think more long term, right? Like you're in your 17, 20s, right? You should not worry about these small temporary issues, right? You're not here just studying or just learning the skills for a year, right? It's not like that, right? You're like building your career, right? So you should think about long term, and in the long term, like market is going to be good, right? It's like, and this is not the first time this is happening, right? If you know, in 2007 recession and all, right, things were really bad, even worse than this as well. Like companies like Google last laid off that time only. So all of this keeps happening, right? These are cycles, right, which comes and go, right? And people who get affected with this are the one who take most losses, right? So what you should do is you should start like preparing irrespective of situation, right? And if situation is bad, you should prepare more, right? You should be more I'll say more on your toes to make things work, right? Or like you should be, and it's like J, right? Let's say if competition is more, right, you prepare more. So like that's the point, right? You have to ignore this. You have to ignore all this nonsense that market is bad, and like you should not lose hope that okay, I won't get placed. So I'll tell you stories as well. I have a lot of stories of my batchmates, my friends, right? So one thing I can clearly bet on it, right? Any amount of money you say that if you're deserving, right, you'll get it. I won't bet on the timeline that when it will be, but I don't know a single person in my circle who is deserving and who didn't got it. I don't know even a single person. So that's the point. Like you have to ignore all of this like bullshit, and then you have to focus on preparing, trying your best, and then finding ways to how to do best. And we can discuss this throughout this session, that how to do better, how to do good, right? But you don't have to worry about market situation at all, right? Like and you don't have to take a family with you, right? You're bachelors, right? Like it's fine if you get a lower pay in the start. It doesn't matter, right? If anyone has any question on this, please to ask. Else we can start.
Like Bhaiya, in the current market, it seems quite difficult for a lot of people to place internships. So that affects their like experience level, because internships gives us like an opportunity to experience the current like industry level experience. So like how will that affect people?
Correct. I have this question as well in the slides, one of the question, right? So I'll tell you, you all are privileged kids, right? Let me tell you, at my time, how many companies used to come for internship. Like you all tell me, like at my time when I was at my third year, when I was sitting for third year internship placements, like second year, we sit in second year, right? So what do you think? How many companies used to come? So for me, only two companies used to come. One is Microsoft, other is DirectI, and then there was one PwC, right, which is not tech then. So like we had only three companies. Among them, like DirectI used to take zero hires. The reason is first Microsoft used to come, and the people who have really caliber to crack DirectI used to get into Microsoft, and then they are not allowed to sit in DirectI. So DirectI used to take zero. So that's what happened in my batch. Among we were 70, and I take CST 70, and then electronics was 50. This was strength 70, 70, 50. Among them, only 7 of us got an intern at Microsoft, and then DirectI took zero. and then few folks got into PwC, right? So this is not a problem which you all are facing first time, and you're not unlucky. I'm saying life is like that in IST, right? IST is not that green college in terms of placement. It's not like it became in between, yeah, like after a batch. So when I was in my fourth year, first time Wells Fargo and DB came, and a lot more companies came, and that year it came for internship as well, and then it started coming, right? So I'm saying that first of all, you should. I agree that that's a problem, but I'm saying this: you're not the first batch who is facing this, and you're not the like only people who are facing it. It's across pan India, right? So everyone understand that when people hire, that they also understand that, and I'll tell you stories, right? So the first people who got placed in fourth year, right, were the ones who didn't do any internship in third year in my batch. So they were my friends. I don't know if you know their names or not. It's his like Azmat, if you know Azmat, Vivek, right? And then there are a few more folks, right? They got into first company DB came up. They got hired in the first company, and they didn't have any third year internship. So it matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but there are ways to cover up, right? Which I'll tell you. So that's the story. Is it fine?
Yeah, but actually we should try and be consistent in our learning.
So there's a echo. Okay, cool. So we can go to the next slide.
And yeah, there is a question in the chat actually.
Okay, yeah.
Alright. Bhaiya, like someone is asking, Vaishnavi actually, she's asking is
I just saw it.
as a
I'll
final
answer
year
this.
student.
I'll answer this. Like, don't worry about it. I'll touch this up in much detail, Vaishnavi. So, like throughout the session, I'll answer this. After that, if you still haven't out, please follow up. So, okay. So, like interview, right? Like, so this is the question I think Vaishnavi has, right? Like, what are those checkpoints, right? No one told us, right? The same happened with me as well when I was in my college. No one told me what to prepare, right? Like, for example, you have a syllabus for your like subjects, but we don't even know the syllabus for an interview, right? So maybe I can guide with my experience. Obviously, these are very subjective topics. It's not like a fixed subject, but yeah, this is the list. So first thing is you should have a good resume, right? Because you want to get shortlisted for an interview, and resume is one of the few things which goes first to a company, to a recruiter, where they shortlist. And the next thing is you have to clear online assessments rounds, right? So like not every companies put that, but yeah, a lot of companies put that, and that's one of the best filters companies find to put. So that's one thing. So for that you have to prepare. Like if you do competitive coding, it's easier. If you don't do it, you still can prepare on lead code contest. You can give more other contests on other platforms, because you have to get habituated to that pressure of 2 hour and then solving those 3 questions, right? Because you can solve it without contest. It's a lot easier to solve problems, but you have to build that practice as well to solve those questions in that contest as well. So that is the second thing which you need to prepare. The third thing is you need to be good in DSA. If you are going for a SWE role and like SWE entry role, I will say, like most of the companies do ask DSA. So like a lot of people start complaining that, hey, why do I need to learn DSA? I'm not going to use it in work. And then like there's a lot of debate of DSA versus open source and all of that, right? So it's like J, right? Do you all remember we studied physics, chemistry, math, right? How much do you use today, right? I don't think so. I've never used chemistry. Like even in my chemistry subject, I think the lab assistant is same, right? That person who tells us the chemical names, right? Like while giving us to test. So that's what it is, right? Like few things we do for making a check mark, or I will say trying to prove things, right? So DSA is one of that thing, right? So to get into a good engineering college, you have to do PCM. You don't have any option. Even though you're interested in aerospace, you have to do PCM. Even though you're interested in maths only, you have to do still chemistry and physics, right? So that's how it goes with DSA as well. You have to accept it, you have to understand it, and you have to tackle it, right? If you don't do it, you're just doing loss to yourself. Like if you're just being too I will say rational that okay, I'm not going to use it in my daily work, so I will not do it. So that's one thing on DSA. I'm not saying like master it, like, but at least you have to get past a level which which is the next thing is is you should have some good projects and experiences in your resume. Now, to be really frank, right, you people really overthink about internship experiences, right? Whereas in industry, people don't value it much, right? Like we all know, right? I was like, we are also in college, right? We know that a lot of really good people don't go get internship because they were not aware of applying, right? So I myself did, really struggled in my second year for internship. Even if I didn't got Microsoft, let's say if my day was wrong, I would have struggled to get my third year internship because there's no way you can get it. If college is not coming to you and then your college is not renowned, it's really hard to get off campus, right? So don't overthink of internships a lot, right? The thing which matter is projects, right? Your experiences, your skills, right? You have to work on them, and you have to work them on them with perseverance, with more faith on it, rather than like cribbing that okay, I don't have internship and then panicking and then not working on other stuff, right? That's a bigger loss which you will do to yourself. Okay, so by good projects, I mean it should be like you should be very clear about what is the problem it is solving, right? And you should start writing project in a way that you write a problem and then you solve it. You should not put it like a task, right? That I have done this. Like this is not the way you put your experiences or projects, right? The way you put it is you have to sell yourself. You have to show that you have picked a problem and then you have solved it, and then maybe you can tell that how you have solved it. Then it works. But it should not be like a checklist or a coursework, right? That I did these subjects, right? So that is one thing how to put projects well. I think I can share a video. I think it's video by one of my batchmate. She made a video on like resume building. I think like those girls made a video on resume building. I think it's a good video. I can share it. You people can watch it, and it'll give you more insight on this. If you want, I can also touch up on it, maybe in the later part of session. So that's the next thing. The third thing is you have to practice mock interviews, right? Because you have to improve your communication. It's not easy to communicate in an interview. It's really tough. People struggle even after having a lot of experiences. And I know some of the really smart people just didn't got into an interview because they were not good at communication. They were not able to communicate their thoughts, their logics, right? And the same goes in work as well. If you're not that good at communication, you will like feel the penalty of a lot of things. So to master that, you have to practice mock interviews. It's the same like if you remember for JEE, right? We should do test series, right? I don't think I need to explain you that why test series is important for JEE. The same way goes for mock interviews for interviews, right? So the point is, we want to go in an interview fully prepared because we know we are getting very few chances. So we cannot take chances, right? Like we have to ace that. We have to give 100% in that. And to do that, we have to check all of these checklists. Like, we don't have to slack in any of these. Okay. Next thing is core subjects. So a lot of companies do ask core subjects as well. Like I think Wells Fargo, DB, and then Mentor Graphics. As far as I remember, I don't know what other new companies which are coming in college. I'm like a bit far from college for a while. So these are companies which do ask core subjects as well. So you have to be ready with that as well. Like so the good way to do that is when you're covering this subject in your semester, right? At that time only try to focus on it a lot, like more, right? And there's multiple benefits. You'll get a good GPA as well, like because you have studied those subjects well and you can score marks. And then you're prepared for interviews as well. Like try to make notes and like a lot of times to get interview question you can search like top interview question of DBMS, top interview question of OS, right? Try to see all of those questions because they are a lot of times very niche question which is not covered in books which we study, so you can read from there. So like the idea is you have to prepare these subjects as well. You cannot leave these subjects completely, and it depends on companies to company. Like I'll guide more that what to do when you know, maybe I can take a step on like what to do when you know X day a company is coming, how to prepare for that. I can guide that. So this is just an overview that what all you need to prepare or what all you need to do. I will maybe touch up each one of them in more detail in next slides. Does anyone have any question?
Bhaiya, like I think you can elaborate a bit more on the resume building because like when I was in second year, I really struggled with like how to put something, how to put experience, how to put a project into it. Also like how to like come up with good project ideas because that's something I feel quite a lot of people struggle with because everybody wants to build something like but nobody knows what to build.
Got it. Yeah. So that's a good question, right? Sometimes on resume building, I will say I will pass on the video. People, please go and watch it. That'll do more justice than me in this session. I have more things to give you, so I'll cover those points. That's a very good video. I acknowledge that video. Like you can go and watch it. It's a session of I think 3 years back. Like my batchmates took it, my batchmates and their juniors took it. So you can watch that. On the project thing, right? That's a very fair question, right? That how to get a good project, right? So the answer is you are again procrastinating a lot, right? You don't need to get a very good project. You just need to get a project. So you won't believe the project which I had when I had Microsoft internship was a line following bot. So you all know, right? We have fests and all, right, in which we have some line following bot competitions. So I just participated in that with my friends, and I had that project in my resume, right? And you won't believe I had discussion on that project. I did a round completely based on that project idea. Like so I was doing something on weights and all. I just applied that in my other work. So it like something like you don't need to worry a lot about a good project. Every project is good unless until you do it in that much depth. You understand the problem, you understand the solution, you are able to relate it with other problems. Project is good. You don't need to waste a lot of time in it. And the reason is, project is a risky business. The point is, you're not sure that how much it will be valued in an interview. Because let's say you've done a project on, let's say, AI/ML, but the person who is interviewing you does not know AI/ML, right? So maybe he will not value your project that much, or maybe he will not dig much, right? So it's a risky business. You cannot put a lot of efforts on projects only. So I will say you should just take out first of all, like try to couple your semester projects with that. Like try to make your semester projects that well that you can add it to your resume and play with it. Then you'll get a semester to work on it. If not, try to spend a month or two. That's the max I will suggest for an undergrad person to spend on a project. And just try to complete the project and get the idea. Another thing is a lot of time you can search on web. There are a lot of projects which it's like some very famous dev like launched the project and they given all the guidance, all the steps. You just have to repeat it. Even that is fine. I have done such projects for me, like just following a guideline to make something, and then maybe doing some innovation from my side, like adding few more features or few more tweaks and that works. Because like obviously there's finite projects and like what unique you can think of as an undergrad, right? It's not easy. So don't think much. Just get to it and then get done out of it, right? Absolutely. Say for good ideas, you can search on web what are the new hot things and then work on it. The problem with working on very new ideas is you will need time, you will need guidance, right? Because like because what I remember when I was in like second year, third year, right? It was hard to decide that am I going in the right direction or not. So doing very complex project or very ambiguous projects are risky for undergrad because you have to give time to DSA also, right? It's not like you're free from a DSA and all, right? It's like JEE only, right? Like you cannot just dig into a subject and do PhD in that. You have to overall prepare all the subjects, overall cover all the syllabus and so on. So that's why like don't focus too much on the quality of projects. Just get to it, and whatever you do with details and a good understanding. Okay. Cool. We can go to the next slide, Samajit, maybe. Okay. So I think this is a very old post which I wrote on LinkedIn. I'll just quickly cover it and we'll go next. So like people say that how to get job at company X, let's say, and maybe product-based companies, right? So the thing which like big product-based companies look for is they look for problem-solving skills. That's the first thing which they need. The next thing they need is good grasp on DSA, because I said you right. That's the way of taking contest for them, right? That's JEE for them. Then third is like ability to identify problems and relate them with other existing problems. This again comes up like when you do problem solving, you are able to see. For example, if I take example of DP, let's say. So when you're doing DP, there are some set of standard DPs. If you have covered that. Most of the DP problems get boils down to those standard DPs. So this is the ability which we look for even in work as well. A lot of time you build something, you have to use it at other places, and then you have to like take ideas from one project and apply to other projects. So such things are really important in work as well. So that's what they look for. The next is good communication and teamwork. This is really underrated thing. People don't focus on this much. I know some of the really smart people just fail because of they didn't focus on this much. So this is really important. And then next is like again ability to understand things. Like it's like what do I say? If a new project is thrown on you, how quickly you can grasp that, how you can quickly understand that. So you should put things in your resume which shows that you are sharp, you are smart, or you try out new things, right? This is something which is required as a SWE when you're working in a product-based company. So like, yeah, how to work on these points. So I see if you do competitive, like, this is for I think second years, right? People who are in second year, you have a lot time left. I started my CP in my second year, so I'm a like fact breeder of CP. I do promote CP very openly. I do agree that it's a lot of time frustrating, but it's much more rewarding than frustrating. So if you do CP, you are surely tackling 1, 2, 3, and 5 point, like the point number 1, 2, 3, and 5. And if you're working on projects, you're surely tackling 4 and 5. Like you're working on communication and looking at solution and applying to other solutions. All of this you're doing. So this is the way. Okay. Samit, you can go to the next slide. Yeah, how to make a good resume. This is first thing which comes to mind, right? So I'll say go and refer this session. I'll share the link. This is a good session. If you still have doubts, or maybe I can like talk about it maybe in a minute, or maybe I can maybe present my resume and then talk about it, that how I put stuff, what is my mindset on it. Okay, cool. Somebody can go next. Okay, so next thing is what really matters, right? Is it internships? Is it projects? Or is it a DSA, problem solving skills, right? And how to manage it all, right? So this is one thing which people struggle. Like, so what I understand is, as a second year, third year undergrad student, right? The point is, if someone gives me a good path that do A, B, C, D, E, I'll do it well. But the issue is, no one gives us that. So what we do is we just keep juggling between should I do A, should I do B, C, and then we waste a lot of time. We just procrastinate. So I just want to touch on that. So the point is, yes, everything is important. There's no doubt in that. But you can think of it as a round robin thing, right? You have to work on everything, and you have to decide priority as well. So, for example, I'll say the most important thing is DSA, right? You have to work on DSA because you won't get it from anywhere else, right? For example, projects, right? You can get a project in your resume within 2 weeks as well. You can just search on web, find something, quickly build it, and then add it. Maybe you can add your mini project. Maybe you can add your end project, right? That is compensate. Like you can compensate that, right? But DSA you cannot compensate in a 2 week, right? It's a long process. It's a commitment. You have to spend time. You have to spend a year. You have to spend 6 months at least working on it to cover it up. So give priority to DSA surely if you want to get into like tech companies. Next is like projects. I said you already that 2 months is good. Internship, don't worry a lot, especially if you're in IST, don't worry a lot, because I'm saying that most of you are going to get disappointed only. Like think about my batch as well, right? Like we 7 guys were only had that internship, right? No one else had out of like 140 plus 52 10 people, right? Like out of like 190 people out of only 7 were having good internships, right? But all, like I will say, most of my batch is really, really successful today, and the internship doesn't matter at all. So the same you should also do. Yeah, try for it, but don't stress too much. And how to manage it all, I told you already. Like try to work on everything. Look at your timelines. That okay, this is the day when I have to give interviews. How do I start preparing about it? Make a plan and then execute it. That's how you can do. Somebody can go next. Okay, so how to prepare for interviews if you don't like CP or if you're getting demotivated CP, right? This is very common problem people face, right? So the point is, like, first of all, you should not get demotivated with CP. The reason we get is we attach too much emotion to that. Yeah, I do understand we're not saints that if I do something and I don't expect anything, it's not possible. But yeah, try to do it. Still push yourself to not attach too much on your ranks, on your ratings or stuff. Yeah, eventually you will get attached, but don't leave it just because you're not getting it. Try to see that are you learning something or not. If yes, just keep doing it, right? And I can share profiles of people who really spent time being newbie, being pupil for a really long time, and then they finally made it. Like if you want, I can present now as well. Like CP is about perseverance. You have to show perseverance if you're doing like CP. Another thing is like you can even skip and stop CP completely as well. CP is not a requirement. It's just something which is better than like doing plain DSA because it's fun as well, and then it's prepare you more. But what you can do is you can just do lead code as well. That's still fine. You will be able to ace stuff with lead code as well. But don't just do lead code question, do lead code contest as well, because giving contests are important. Also guide that how to use lead code efficiently. Maybe I'll take that question if it's ahead. I will take it up. I'll show you that how I tackle lead code. So if you just do that, it's fine. You don't need to worry much about CP. Okay. Cool. We can go to the next submission. Okay, so how to use summer breaks if you don't have any internship, right? This is a very big question, right? Because as I said, you right, most of you are going to fall in that curse that you won't have internship. So I'll just tell you the story of my two of my friends, right? One was Azmat and another was Vivek. Both didn't have any internships, and they got placed in the first company which came in full time. So you can believe that how much prepared they are and how much confident they are that even if they don't have internships, it doesn't matter. Okay. So the point is no one is worried about your internship. People are worried about skills. You have to just show it that you have it from anywhere. So the point is you should make sure that you take down your project goals in the summer, right? I mean, I should spend maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get a good project in resume. In whole resume, I think 2-3 projects are fine. 3 is best. 2 is also fine. 1 is a bit less. So that's the count you should have for your projects. The other thing is you should like put your 100% to prepare for interviews, right? You should do really well DSA. You should do this mock interviews. You should do. So I used to do mock interviews with them. So I was doing internship, but I used to spend my weekends with them on mock interviews, discussing the problems which they are facing, like maybe some tough problem which we want to discuss. So use that time very efficiently, right? Collaborate, right? Like another thing which I feel my batch did really well is we used to collaborate a lot, right? There was a really good culture in our batch. We used to take mock interviews of each other. We used to practice together. We used to discuss problems together. And all this really helps, right? This improves the communication skills as well. So you all should do that extensively in summers. Make goals. I'll show you how to make goals and all. Like maybe I can show you now only. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Okay. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see a sheet? Okay, yeah, you're able to see, right? Okay. So the point is like, I was preparing for Google. I just got to know that I have to give an interview in next 2 weeks, right? So what it is, I started tracking, right, that how much I'm doing, how to do better, right? So I was doing lead code. So I made this kind of sheet, right? Like, so this is a week. This is easy, medium, hard. Oh, sorry. So I did like, let's say first week I did 12 easy problems, 15 medium problems, and then 7 hard problems. Then next week I did this. Like, so after the second week I had the interviews, and then I have follow-up interviews after third week maybe. So on. Like how it helps is when you're able to track, right, you're able to crib on it that you have not done much and you have to improve your numbers and stuff. When you don't track stuff, it's all in air, right? That how much you're doing, how much you're not doing, you get involved in other stuff, and then things are slacked off. So making such sheets really helps to track down, and even doing it in a group even improves it. So I used to do it. So when I used to mentor juniors as well. Like I mentored I mentored 23. I mentored 23 batch a lot. Like I've mentored them very personally. So I used to make such sheets for them. And then I like there's a competition as well, right? That people are tracking. Okay, let's say Samajit did it, so I have to also do. Let's say Anush did it, so I will also do, and so on, right? So it helps to build a culture, or I'll say a motivation for you all to like keep going and then keep doing it. I also used to track the leftover problems, the problem which I have not solved or I faced issues, and I used to get back to that. So making such sheets like help a lot. This is one of the technique which I used to use to prepare. Okay, I'm stopping. I think some magic. You can present again. Oh, it's there. I'll pin it. Okay. Oh, I think I can. I should have gone on to share how to use lead code efficiently as well, right? So, okay. Yeah, I'm sharing again my screen. I'll maybe tell you how to use lead code efficiently. Okay, the sheet is below. Open lead code. It's been a while since I opened it. Okay. Oh, it's opening. Just give me a while. Sign in. Oh, really sorry for this. I should have done it earlier. Okay. Okay. So let's say you want to solve a problem, and then let's say you went to a problem. So the first thing is you should not look for hints or topics, right? That should be your goal. That you should not look at topics. Then you should solve it. Now, irrespective of you have solved it or not, you should go to the discuss tab. Just waiting to get any problem. I'm not sure why this is so slow. Is it my internet or is it lead code being down? Okay. Okay, so the first one I opened. Okay, so first thing is you read the problem, right? And then you come up with ideas, right? Next, you check that your idea is passing the constraints and all, right? Like it's not like you just go and code up everything. That's really terrible, and that you cannot do in an online assessment, right? You will screw the online assessment. You don't have enough time. You can only code a problem only once. So that think about the idea, check with the constant that does it pass time limits or not. If yes, if it looks feasible, then only go and code it up. Let's say you're able to solve it. Then you should go to discuss tab here. I think where is discuss tab moved? Okay, is it solutions? Okay, they might have changed the name. Earlier it used to be discuss. So here you can go sort by and most votes. And then you should read at least one or two posts of these two top posts, right? And you should understand what they did, how they have written a better code, how they have written a more clean code, and what are their logics. I won't say that you will get it all the time. Sometimes it will just be a tangent to you. You won't understand a thing that what they did, but slowly you'll start leveling up, right? Because just solving problem from your level is not enough. You have to keep leveling up. Soon you will start adopting their ways, their techniques, and you will soon learn their techniques and get better at things. So irrespective of your solved or not, go to discuss and then read these top solutions. That's one thing. Other than that, yeah, discuss problem with your friends. That also helps. Like tell them that you have solved this problem. This was really interesting, and you want to discuss. That's it. I think that's how you can use lead code efficiently. Another technique, another thing which I want to share is you should always do a mix of difficulty. Like let's say you are doing 10 questions today. So you should not do 10 easy questions or 10 hard questions, right? You should always do a mix where let's say the question which teaches you most is the question which you are struggling and being able to solve. It means, somebody, can you mute yourself? I think it's a noise. Thank you. Yeah, I think that the question which like the question which like in which you take 30 minutes to solve it is the best question which teaches you most. Then the problems which are like, let's say you spend 2 hours but not able to solve, or like solved in 3-4 hours, right? These problems still teach you, but they don't teach you that much, right? But you still have to keep doing it to level up. So the mix should be like, you should doing at least 50% medium questions, maybe 20% easy question, and then 30% hard, or like 20% hard, like 60% medium. You have to decide this easy, medium, hard on your level. But what I mean is, the most problem should be the questions which you are doing with some struggle. With a lot struggle, you should do still less, let's say 10-20%, and you should do easy as well. Because a lot of what happens a lot of time when we are doing only hard questions, every question looks us too hard. Even someone asks an easy question, I'll think from the hard perspective. So we cannot lose our skill of identifying easy questions, right? We have to have that skill as well. So that's why I have to keep doing easy questions as well. So always do this kind of mix. Another thing is, a lot of time we do topic wise practice, right? Let's say I'm weak in DP, let's say I'm practicing DP, right? So you should not practice 100% DP questions. You should always still practice 20-30% random questions. So let's say you're doing 10 questions, okay, 7 questions on DP is fine now, but still go and do 3 questions on random topics without reading the topic. Because you don't want to like block your brain, always think about DP. And that happen all the times, right? We get blocked because we are thinking about something for a long time. So these are some techniques through which you are able to like have more hold on what you're practicing, what you're getting, and stuff. If you have doubts, please to ask. I think I'm speaking since very long time.
Acha bhaiya, like especially for the third and fourth year, our internships and placements are very near. So like in like about 2 weeks, like how do we efficiently tackle late code? Like how do we practice in it? How do we like we only have a 2 week interval. So how do we do that?
Yeah, this is a good question. So the thing you can do is, first thing is interview, like company specific preparation, right? And I will say that how you do it is like, let's say you know that this company is going to come, go and search on lead code, see what problems they are, like not lead code, I will say GFG. I think at our time GFG was a thing. Go and search on Code Studio. I'm not sure like what other platforms came up. Platforms might have came up, but read about it, that what they're asking, and then in the colleges, right? You can check with the other colleges where they're listed, maybe Durgapur or other NITs, IITs. If you have friends, mostly we do have friends, so you can check with them. And see that what they're asking, right? And then tailored preparation, right? For example, if I talk about Microsoft, then Microsoft mostly asks trees a lot, right? Tree is their favorite topic. If I talk about Google asks graphs. Similarly, you will see such patterns in all the companies. Some companies ask subjects, right? So you have to quickly tailor that topic and then try to brush up that. Another very good thing which I would recommend all of you is, there's a list of top 100 questions on GFG. I think I have a link in this slide as well. In that you can see it. So I would recommend go and solve it quickly. You won't believe it. Me and my friend did it in 2 days before my Microsoft interview. So like 2 days before my Microsoft interview, we did 100 questions straight. Like, so we used to like stand from our beds for having tea and food. All the time we just quickly solving these 100 problems. So I think within 2 days we just solved it over a weekend, and then next day we had a Microsoft interview. So that helps. That surely helps. Those 100 problems are really good. It touches all the topics, so it's kind of a good mix which you can do. So such things you can do. Now the point is, some people might be weak in few topics, right? So obviously you are late. Like, accept it, right? It's not like we can just deny that we are late. We are late, right? We should have tackled these topics earlier, but it's still not too much late, right? What you can do is, first of all, focus on the things which you know, and then slowly cover the topic. Maybe doing easy questions of that topic, and then maybe covering it from a longer perspective, right? Let's say company is coming up, then you're preparing for that company. Then let's company gone, then again you get back to your long-term plan of tackling that topic, right? Because you still have time. Don't think that your only opportunity is 2 weeks away. It's a long journey, right? I have stories of in my batch where people got placed in the very last month of our college, like off campus. A lot of got placed even after getting first job after 2-3 months. So these things keep happening, right? It's not like that you won't get opportunities after college. Yeah, surely it will be lesser, but you'll still get it, right? If you are good, you will get it, and if you keep practicing, asking for referrals and all of that, you'll slowly get it. Okay. Samajit, does it answer? Sumit, you're on mute, I think.
Hello. Yeah, I was questioning like if someone encountered a question whose topic they're weak at in an interview, like how do you tackle that particular situation?
Yeah, so like a lot of people like say upfront, like for example, it happened to me as well. I was interviewing someone from IST only when I was at Google. So the point is, the competition is too much nowadays, right? I don't think so. Anyone will give you a higher rating if you say that you don't know the topic and you want to change the question, because that's really too much you're asking for, right? They have a lot of candidates, right? Why they will accept you when you're openly giving up on a question? So that's not a good idea. First of all, that you should not give up on a question. What you should do is you should still try to take out observation from that question, right? Like you have to get away from that fear, right? You don't have to think that, okay, sorry, I think this is the DP question, I don't know DP, what I will do. You should not do such things, right? You should show your problem solving skills. For example, you should start taking out observation. For example, you should say that, okay, I will try to solve it with recursion, I'll do this, that. Like I mean, like uh, still you should just follow the basic ways of solving a problem, like pointing out observations, trying to building on that, trying to come up with ideas, even brute force ideas, even simple ideas, and then saying like, okay, I know that I can use DP, but I'm not very proficient on it, but I'll still try. And then you can try on it, like. But another thing is, like, you should not blindly say DP. Like a lot of time what we with fear, what we do is, like, we get a question, we feel that this is question of this topic, but that's not true. The questions, it's hard to identify topic, and it's so negative that you just identified a topic which you don't know and then you just gave up the question. So it's too much loss. So I'll say, irrespective of topic, try to solve it, try to go from the basics, point out observations, try to build on it, and then so on, and then don't give up on it. Like what I mean is, like, भूल जाओ तुम्हें नहीं आता है वो topic. I mean that, like, don't think that you don't know that topic. Okay. Cool. I think we can go to the next slide.
Yeah, we are already on the next slide.
Okay, yeah. So yes, this is a very good thing, right? So like a lot of us do internships, but then we have to also prepare for the next interview rounds, right? The reason can be multiple. One is a lot of time company take interviews, right? Like for example, at my time, till the year before me, Microsoft does not used to take any interview. All of the people used to get PPO blindly. But at my time, like Microsoft said that they will interview us, and we all interviewed, and I think only few of us got PPO. So it's hard to now do the internship because it's hectic, right? Internship is not easy, especially in product-based companies. You will be very scared. You will be overwhelmed with a lot of new things. So the idea is you should be like not leave your touch from doing DSA and all. So what I used to do is I used to solve one question daily. That was my target. Like before sleeping, I'll just solve one question, and I'll solve easy question. Doesn't matter, but I'll just solve one question. So I used to call my friends and ask them, okay, please can you tell me an easy question which I can solve quickly? And like this Azmat and Vivek, right? And they used to tell me, okay, hey, you can do this one. I used to do that question. So I used to solve daily question. Now if you look back after 60 days, 2 months, right? You have solved 60 questions, right? Recently. You are much more prepared than any other candidate, right? So these small hacks helps a lot to be on top of like DSA and interviews when you are doing internships as well. Another thing is use your weekends to discuss with your friends who are still preparing, right? Like who are not doing internship, right? Keep in touch with them, talk with them, they give about what they're preparing and all. Try to take their mock interviews, try to give a mock interview to them in a weekend, right? So all of this will keep you prepared as well for a PPO interview, or for, let's say, in the worst case, you got a PPO for a next round of interviews in your campus. Okay. Cool, Samjit, you can go to the next slide. Okay, so like, yeah, I can only share my own thoughts from my own experiences. These are really subjective. There's no perfect answer. It's like this, right? Whatever I said, right? If you're following this, it's good. But it's not like if you're not following this, it's bad. It's not at all, right? Maybe you are following something else which will work better, right? So it's very subjective. Whatever I said is there's no clear guarantee I'm giving here that, okay, if you do all of this, you'll succeed, right? What I can say is I've seen people succeeding doing this, and I can share. So that's what it is. So like you don't need to worry a lot if you're not doing something. Yeah, Shik, you can ask. She can unmute and ask. Okay, is it by mistake? Okay. Cool. Samajit, you can go to the next slide. Okay, yeah, like if you people have questions, please feel free to ask. Feel free to ask anything, right? It's fine, right? Like, and interact. You can ask about semester as well, right? How much GPA is important, right? So, like, GPA is important. So, I'll tell you my story. Like, I got a 7 GPA in my first semester. So, like, I was really sad. I was having 40th rank in my batch of 70 people. And I got to know that okay, GPA is an important thing. Maybe in the end when you interview for companies and all. So I start focusing on it. Next time I got 9. I pushed it to 8, and then I like consistently I focused on GPS, and like in the end I was able to raise it to 8.9. Surely thanks to like some online semester as well, like where we did like a lot of not very good things. So that's it. Yeah, GPA is important. But like you should not worry much. What I mean is like let's say like what I mean is like forget about past, right? Like let's say you have screwed your GPA, right? Think ahead. Don't only keep cribbing on GPA and not preparing other stuff, right? I know people with 7 GPA getting into Google and all like every places, right? It's all about what you're doing from next, right? Oh yeah, like first year CS students. For first year people, I will say that you should start CP early because if you're going to give up early, start early. Another thing is try out different things. Try out ML, try out open source, try out stuff because this is a year where you have time to like spare on stuff. So first year is something which you can spare on different things. Other thing is don't be too much nerd, right? Like this is more of a personal tip. You won't come to undergrad again, right? Like so, like be free to do things which you want. Like what I mean is being part of basketball team. I was part of basketball team. Being part of dance clubs or doing whatever you want, right? You won't get this platform again, right? It's not only about studies getting placed and all that. College is a lot more. So look at from that perspective as well. And first year is a good time to explore all of that. And don't think it is like a race, right? So just start early. I'm not sure what CodeIIEST does now. At our time, we used to have sessions as well, like the CP sessions and all. We used to teach CP in CodeIIEST. So that used to help first years a lot. More is like keep participating in contests, right? Try to bring that culture.
Yeah, we are working on that. For the first years, we'll soon start with the CP sessions and host a few contests on campus itself.
Yeah, that's good, right? That helped. Like I can just tell you that helped me to grow. Like I'm very grateful to my seniors. Like there's like Ankit Giri, Virali, Mananjan, Prasun. These are people. Okay, Razdeep. Yeah, so all of you don't worry too much about programming languages as such. It doesn't matter what language you know. I'll say you should learn C, C++ because it must be in your semester as well. And then it's a language which goes to the heart, which is more closer to the machines. So you understand basics well. So that's why that language you should learn. Another language I will say is you can learn Python as well because building quick projects in Python is a lot more easier. So, what I mean is, let's say if you say that, Suryansh, I'm going to give you a task and I won't tell you task until you tell me a language you will pick. So I'll say I will pick Python. So that's good. And Java is surely one of the most prominent language. I have worked on Java only at my Google career, like mostly Java. Java is most famous, a lot good. And you should like the point is you should learn as much as you can. But the point is, I will say prioritize learning problem solving over languages. Just knowing one or two language is fine. It's okay. Java is also good. Like you can pick Java and C++. Let's say skip Python then. Like so, what I mean is you can pick two languages, master it, and have another language with doing okay in that. Okay. Yes, Neha, you can apply for off-campus internships. The way is ask for referrals from your seniors. You like I think this is a good time when we have I think college alumnus in most of the companies. You can just reach out, even you can reach out to other people as well for that. Try to apply with referrals, and that'll help. And yes, you can apply. Like, I think there's no one stopping you. Like, I got into Google off campus. Like, I had Microsoft PPO, but I got into Google off campus. So it's like that. No one is stopping you. And people, please follow up. If I answered your question and you still have a like follow up question, please follow up in chat. I'm just reading from here. And you people can like, I would encourage you people speak up, right? Ask directly to me, right? Like you can just speak up and ask. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Which type of project is more lucrative to interviews? More core subject based like networks OS or other subjects like web development, etc.
Got it. Yeah. So I think the projects which solves a problem, I mean, it should be relatable to a real life problem, right? It should not be a just hand wavy tech. It should not be like that. That you just made something and it's meaningless. That is one point. Other is actually AI, ML, LLMs, like and ANNs and then like these hot topics, right? You can search on web and see that what are the hot things in the business now. For example, LLMs are the thing in today's world, right? So building something related to LLM will be a good idea because a lot of teams are working on LLM. A lot of companies will hire on LLMs. So when they see relevant experience in your resume, relevant projects in resume, you have a higher chance to get a interview call. So I'll say doing hot topics. I can tell you hot topics for today. It's LLMs. It's ML deep learning as well. NLP is most of a killed, like LLM killed NLP. Other than that, web devs and all are still always good because like it's a truth that most of tech is still building websites and not doing a lot of fancy stuff. So that is also fine. Doing one web dev project. Other than that, you can search about ANNs. You can search about. So this is one thing, right? Another thing is, let's say you are interested in core subject, which like let's say I said that. What about networks, OS, right? They are good projects in those areas as well. So the point is, you can still do all of that because those are also very good because like not a lot of people does that. All people go to the lucrative area and they don't do this really core projects. But the point is you should have a high quality of those core projects and you should try to publish a paper, right? Try to collaborate with your professors, right? I don't know about CS much, but in IT you might find some good professors with whom you can do research papers. I think you can check with RN ma'am, or you can check with Prasun sir. You can check with CG, maybe not interested. I think RN Prasun sir are like good teachers with whom you can check with doing research papers. Such projects are valued a lot where you have a research paper as well on in your project. So this is it. Like either doing very good core tech thing, trying to publish papers. If it's not done, it's fine. Submitting paper is also fine. Or doing the high topics like LLMs and AIMLs and web dev is also fine. Having a one web dev project is fine because it's something which is used. But that is very common. Everyone will have it. Okay. Thanks, AK. I'm going back to chat. I see, Bhaiya, can you tell about how efficiently choose which problem to solve in LeetCode as there is a very long list? Manas, that's a good question. So the way is, it depends what is your goal, right? Let's say your goal is to blindly practice, right? Then I say you should not worry a lot. You should just look at the difficulty level and solve problems. Now, next, if your goal is topic, right? You want to solve question by topic. There are some good curated lists at places. So there's a one platform where like I worked at Coding Ninjas for a long time. I was like interning with them. I made a platform with them. There was a Code Studio platform. I don't know, they might have renamed it. It used to call Code Studio. There we had a guided path. I think the product name was guided path, where there was problems for each topic and there was solution in multiple language and all. That's a good list. I have seen the list myself. I can approve it. So that's a good list you can follow. I'll maybe write in the chat. Code Studio. The name might have changed. It's a long time. I've not checked. Guided path. You can try Striver sheets and all. Those are also good. So another thing is you should, if you're looking for a topic-wise practice kind of thing, right? So you should look for a set where you get solutions as well, right? Because you might get stuck. You might need help, right? Then you might get solutions, guidance, and all, right? So pick such lists for that. Now, if you're doing for company, right, you can do company-wise tag as well. You might be able to get the list very easily. You can take lead code premium as well. Like if you have spare money, you can take it. But yeah, it's fine. Um, and Manas, I hope this answered your question. And I will say like another point is don't worry much about the quality, right? Just go and tackle quantity, right? That solves the problem. How we can manage. Okay. Okay, Rishabh, I think the thing which worked for me, so I had a very diverse experience, right? So in the first year, do you all remember, right? We used to click pictures of people who are sleeping in the class and post in the group, right? So like my picture used to come daily, like almost daily. Whenever I used to go class, I used to sleep in the class in my first year because I used to play games in the night at the hostels, right? So the point is, like I had those experiences where I don't want to study, right? I was very clear that I am not going to study this semesters because I do not liking it much. These subjects, the way of teaching and all. So I was very clear I have to do coding because I have to do something, right? I cannot just screw my career. So I was very clear. So the point is, and then I screwed my GPA. And then I figured out that I have to do this semester as well if I want to succeed because screwing GPA is not an option, right? And then I just like I made friends. My friends guided me. Like there was a friend who taught me all of this. So he said me, right, just do one thing. Just come to class daily. That's the only one thing. This is like a there's like a problem. Like it's like our mothers say, right? Like that every problem because you sleep late at night and you don't wake up early at morning, right? It's like the same way in the college. If you start going to classes daily, that solves a lot of problems. First thing is you will be in the eyes of teachers, so you won't be dinged for not being active or other stuff. Other is you will get to know what he's teaching, and when what teacher teaches, that comes with semester exams. And that's what happened. Like what happens is people like me who don't used to go classes, in the end we were like studying a very big syllabus, whereas people who used to go classes, they know what exactly going to be asked in the exam, right? And you can go and ask friends for that, but it's always less compared to knowing yourself, and a lot of things get prepared in the class itself. So I will recommend that make a habit of going to classes. It's a pain, but yeah, just like bear it. That helps. Then CP, what I used to do, I used to do regularly CP in the evening. So only two things I used to do. I used to go to classes and do CP. I used to ding a lot. There's these files and all, right, which we used to make lab files and all. That I used to write very fastly. I've done like some like I've not made files for few subjects as well. Like took other people file and all. Like I've done all of that shady things as well. I would recommend you all to you people, right? I'm not sure what will happen to you, but yeah, for me it was possible. I did it. So the point is you have to sneak time and then prioritize stuff. And yeah, it's correct that some things will still lag, right? For example, your semester numbers might lag a bit, your CP might lag a bit, but you have to prioritize and understand. So projects, I will say, leave it to mini project and end project. Don't focus on project in the first and second year. You'll get project in the second year anyway. Don't focus much on it. Like use vacations for projects. So in your daily time, focus on classes and keep doing CP. Don't study anything in it. Like I'm just saying I'm making you bad kids. So I used to all of. I'm just adding a caution. I used to do all of this. I'm not a good scholar. I've never topped my school. I've never topped my college as well. Right? I'm not a topper kind of guy. I'm a more of a like just studying what I want kind of guy. So I'm saying that what I used to do is I used to study a week before exams, and you won't believe the people who top studies 2 weeks before exam, and they cloak classes as well. Like no one studies throughout the semester, right? That's not how college is done, right? If you're studying throughout a semester, you're wasting your college time a lot. There's a lot more things you can do and you should do rather than just studying semester. So that's one thing. Like just start before 2 weeks or a week, and I just believe me, you can top the batch if you're just doing this. But the sad thing is we even don't do it. We start a day before. like we are really like messed up. Actually, I was like that at my time. So if you start a week or so, it works. Rajdeep.
I think yeah, that's the most common experience. Like while on the topic of preparing, I think question specifically catered towards third years is like we only have 1 year to prepare for a placement. So it is not possible to just focus on CP because it takes a lot of time. Besides also DSA and while also looking through developing different types of projects, we don't have time to explore basically. So like, what do you think is the optimal way like we divide our labor?
Got it. Makes sense. Okay. Now, now your question make much more sense because you said, okay, now we're in third year, right? So I assume you're saying that you're in third year, you have not done CP yet. You have not touched it at all. So the point is, you have to take a call now. So first of all, do you still want to touch it or not? One way forward is you still avoid it and you just go ahead with lead code contests and doing light, long contest like kind of thing if it happens at any platform. That's one way. Because it's fine. CP is not a mandatory thing to get into tech. It's not. It's just a fun thing. It just teaches you a lot of things. It improves a lot of things, but it's not a mandatory thing. I know a lot of good people who don't do CP and they're really smart and well. The other option is don't take it too seriously and then just do it like a habit, right? For example, how many contests does happen in a week, right? I think only 2-3, right? It's not a big thing to give 2 hours, right? It's 2 hour contest. Just go and give it, and you must be having your friends who are already doing it since long time. And once you're done with contest, go and talk with them and ask them, okay, what wrong you did. I think another 2 hours for discussion, right? Why we say that it's too much for us? Because we take we got hurt with that diminishing performance of CP contest. All of that hurts us a lot, and that's what is a toy. Just giving contest and taking it light won't be that too much. That you can try to do. Projects, I already tell you, Samajit, I try to do projects in weekend, like in holidays, maybe weekends or summer or winter vacations, what you get, or like trying to use your semester projects as your resume projects. That's one thing. Other is DSA preparation that you have to do, right? And anyway, DSA is helping you in CP. You don't have to worry about it, right? DSA and CP goes together. If you're good at DSA, if you're improving at DSA, you'll improve at CP as well. If you're improving at CP, you're improving at DSA as well. They don't go parting ways. So that is how I will say. Semester, I will say, don't screw it. You should aim at least 8 plus CGPA. It's really sad that is the metric which a lot of companies and people track while looking at you. So, and you will be dinged unnecessarily if you have low GPAs. Like you won't get an interview call, you won't get shortlisted, even if you're a good coder. So yeah, GPA, do focus on it.
And yeah, like recently, suppose we just had a BNY Mellon interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw that for a few people, the interviewer asked quite a great amount of questions from their resume projects. And for a few people, it was entirely DSA focused. So like, is it entirely luck based or does it depend on your resume or something?
Okay, so
how to respect an interview?
Yeah. So I understand this, right? At our time also, I think it's a very common problem, right? We as undergrad students, right? We hate these ambiguities. We just hate it. Like, what is happening, right? I prepared my DSA, but he just asked from projects, or let's say he asked someone projects and they got hired and they were really bad at DSA, let's say, right? We just say that, oh, life is unfair, right? And all like that. So my answer is like, life is unfair, right? Who said you it is not going to be? It is unfair. It will be throughout your life. It will be unfair. So I'll say this happens because these companies give freedom to interviewers that what they ask. Not every company have a very good interview practices. For example, Google is one exception where there are a lot of companies which have good, like Google and I think Databricks. I know. Like there are very few companies, right, which have very strict pattern and rules around interviews, which make their interviews uniform across multiple candidates or multiple timeline and all. But it's not true for most of the companies. I'll say 95% companies, it's not the truth. So you might see that someone being asked an easy question get hired, you are being asked a tough question not hired, someone being asked from projects and you're not being touched on projects. This will keep happening, right? The solution is you prepare, you should be ready for everything. And you should just pray more to God that you have that luck that day. And you should not take these things too much in your mind and then waste your time. And you should not take this. For example, people start saying that, okay, he was not deserving, he just got it because of luck and this and that. And people got in because of diversity hiring and all, right? And I'll just tell you, right, so I've been very close to this hiring practice and all, right? So diversity hiring is not like they have made the bar lower, right? Bar is always same. A company have a bar, it needs to be crossed, right? The only issue is bar for maybe like male candidates is high because there are a lot of good candidates, and obviously if you throw me 10 candidates, I'll choose the best. Even you qualify the bar, I don't have vacancies for you, and that's why you're getting dinged. It's not like the bar got lower for someone. They are qualifying the interview bar. Everyone is qualifying the interview bar, and this is a myth if you feel that it's not. Okay, so that's one thing. And yeah, I think it's a luck thing only, that what will be asked in an interview, no one knows. Like that interviewer knows that what he's going to ask you. Just prepare for everything. That's one thing we can do. I think Rajdeep. Yeah, thank you so much. Rajdeep, I think it was not at all good at my time. I'm not sure about current thing. And this is something which is still lagging in our college. When I came to college, CP was also in very bad state. We didn't experience any CM ever. Like this was very old college, a good top ranked college. There was no CM ever, right? So my goal was to become CM. Like I told this in my Microsoft interviews and all. So my goal was to become CM, and like I told it, either I become CM or someone should from my batch become CM, because we want to make our college name famous and all. So that got curbed in my batch. I think someone has to take a stab on it and work on this startup culture as well in IST. For now, I think it's not like at my time it was not. I'm not sure about current state. I think there were people who were doing stuff. I think like Roshan was maybe were doing something. I think. At my time, my senior were doing. My batch was really out of this startup thing. I don't know anyone who was into startups. So sorry, Rajdeep. Like I'm sorry that this is not very good currently at our college, as far as I know. We do project in RPA is good for MNC. What is RPA? I don't know RPA.
I think he is referring to robotics, like robotic automations.
Okay. Got it. I think not. It depends, right? Depends. By depends, I mean like how complex it is. For example, I told you, right? I made a line following bot. So it's a core robotics project. I had a discussion on it with Microsoft, because in that robotics thing also, I had an algorithm, right? I had an algorithm how I will steer wheels, right? How I will direct line, right? So that algorithm part is again relevant for companies, right? Similar in RPA as well, you have to see that what all things it has, and I think it's good. It's not bad. RPA is not bad at all. Just it should not be too much mechanical or too much it should have CS components. It should be solving CS problems. It's good. Samarpita is better about a good domain for projects, or it is not preferred anymore by recruiters. Samarpita, I think it's not valued that much today. But I'll still say having one is good, because everyone is going to develop web in the end. Research internships does help, but not much. If you compare research internship with no internship, maybe research internship help because you have something. But so let's say I have few options. Option one is I do a research internship and I am not able to focus on DSA. Surely I won't choose it. Let's say I have option of research internship with I will still take out time and keep doing DSA. Then it's good, and surely better than doing no internship. But let's say I have an option of not doing any internship and just doing DSA. This is better than doing a research internship and no DSA, because DSA is something which you have to handle, right? Because you have to face in interviews. You have to be interview ready. You cannot just skip it. Projects you can anyway tackle. And if you want to go to do master's, PhD and all of that, then yeah, research internship makes sense. Then you can pursue research more and all. But if we're talking about tech interviews, being better at DSA is more important. I think some of that answers you. Sorry if I have confused you. Okay, Manas. Okay. Oh, Rajdeep, maybe you can ask seniors. It will take me time to explain. Shakshi, two companies ask CS core subjects, to students. Shakshi depends. So, for example, it depends companies to companies. And first of all, it's not like if you're another branch, you will be spared from a lot of things. It's like if Microsoft asks core questions, it'll ask to a EE person as well. It'll ask to a electronics person as well. So the way here is like, so for example, Microsoft does not ask it. So the point is, for non-core people, it's good to be good at DSA and then aim for these Google and Microsoft companies because they don't care about branch and they don't ask core subjects. But if you're going for a company which asks core subjects, you have to prepare. But I'm saying it's not tough. And don't think that your friends who are these subjects in semester have studied from semester. Like, no one studies for interviews from semester. It's very rare. Like, yeah, it helps, but it's not, doesn't help much. If you plan well, you can learn all those subjects yourself, despite not having. Yeah, I understand that workload might be an issue, like, especially for electronics. As far as I remember, electronics was the toughest, one of the toughest subject. So if you're in electronics, that's an issue. That's it, I think. So is there any boundary of how much CPDSA should be done, or till this position everyone must know for product-based companies? Suraj, I think there is no boundary. Sky is the limit. Considering it's also about day as well, right? Let's say you've done a lot of CP, but on that day you're not able to solve problem or you're not able to catch the problem, right? You will do bad. So you don't know how much you need to practice to be able to perform on the D day. So there is no limit as such. But I'll say, like, if I talk about ratings, maybe being expert at code forces is good enough to crack good product-based companies. If I like if experts meaning does not change today, right? I am talking about 2-3 years ago on code forces. Expert is a good rating, I will say. Specialist is also fine. Like, specialist, you will ace it, but yeah, you might struggle, but you will ace it. Below that, you should try to become specialist and expert. That's something which you can try to tackle, try to achieve.
Yeah, while on the topic of CP, like, do companies look into the rating you have? Like, do they actually say, or do they just look at your level at which you perform in the interviews?
Yeah, the like, this is very puzzled question, right? So answer is, most of the people actually don't understand all of that, right? And that's why I suggest people to put their problem solved, put their ratings irrespective of if it is good or not, because a lot of people don't understand it, right? So it helps when it is very good. For example, for me it used to help because I had really top names. For example, I had Google Code Jam, Kickstart, and then like Facebook Hacker Cup, right? These things people know more, but ratings and all, people don't know. But it's like, if you have it, you don't need to worry about it. You don't need their name. You are sure. So if you put it, if someone understands that, they will value you. So I'll say maybe 30% people do understand those ratings and all, and they value you, but 70% does not. And but it still helps. Like, they still get to see that, okay, it is something around competitive coding. Like, they might have known it, right? They might not understand each rating, but they might know what this domain is, right? And it helps, and they see you from high level. Okay, he must have done practices. So they'll ask a good question, you can answer it. So I'll say, like, don't do CP because of ratings, or don't push ratings because you want to put in resume. Put it to level up. When you're leveled up, you'll be valued anyway. Like, there's no fixed rule how you'll be valued, but you'll be valued anyway. So do it for value, or like, and especially don't do CP for companies, right? I don't used to do CP for companies. Like, do CP when you love it, and do slight CP if you want to do company. Like, you don't need to pursue CP for companies. It's not required. Late code is good enough. Is there any boundary? Okay, it sounds weird to ask, but how many interviews have you applied for in total? Or do you mean do you mean how many companies I have interviewed till today? I've interviewed a bunch of it. Like, at my college time, I only interviewed, like, so my life first interview was Microsoft interview. I got into it. I got a PPO. That's it. And then I got a Google interview. So only 2 interviews when I was at college. Then I did an interview with Flipkart, Coordination. As a fun thing, I did Direct Eye as well because I interned there. To Flipkart, okay, Direct Eye was serious because I wanted to intern. Flipkart and Coordination I did for fun because I was sure I'd move to Google. After that, I've interviewed with Jane Street recently. I've interviewed with Databricks, Rubrik. I think, yeah, that's Microsoft Research. This all list which I have interviewed. But people have even larger list, right? Because so this is a list for me. People do interview even more, right? It's common. Okay. Does anyone have any more questions? That's it. I think we can end there.
Okay, Bhaiya, that was a great session. I'm sure seniors, juniors alike. Okay, that's quite the question. Anyway, I think everybody should be satisfied with the session. Does anybody have any other questions?
Feel free to ask anything. Oh, Rajdeep, I think you should not worry about money at this point, right? Being in first year. Hirship, you can speak up. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Great
Good luck.
session. Well, everyone.
Yeah. Good luck for interviews,
Thank you,
right?
Bhaiya. Thank you for the insightful session.
Yeah, I think I shared the slide link, right? You can access it. People can
Yeah,
access.
I'll share it with everyone.
Yeah. Can you go to the next line, next slide? I think there is some next to this. I think these are some links which I had. I just put it here. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Alright, everybody. I'll share this particular slides in our CodeIIEST group. You can collect it from there. Alright.